You're listening to the Spartan Sports Network Weekly Recap. And here's your host, Walt Fowler.
And this is the weekly recap for the week ending November 4th. We start with sprint football as the inaugural season came to a culmination this past Friday night at the Torn Valley Sports Field Complex in Hillburn, the home field of the Spartans. And they wound up on the short side of a 33-12 final score against Mansfield. 2 touchdowns for the Spartans. Carlos Fernandez had a 3-yard TD run, and Luke Sullivan a 6-yard touchdown pass to Jimmy English. So the Spartans finished their inaugural season at 2-4. Prior to the game, the 3 seniors on the team were honored: Luke Sullivan, Will Sharon, and Joe Tedesco. Coming up this Saturday at the Torn Valley Sports Complex is the Sprint Football Championship game featuring Army-Navy. Should be a great turnout and a great feather in the cap of the Spartans football program to host the championship game in their inaugural season. So that's the Army-Navy game, the Sprint Football Championship, Saturday night, 6 p.m. kickoff at the Torn Valley Sports Complex in Hillburn. Elsewhere in Spartan sports this past week, men's soccer. The men's team competed in the East Coast semifinal at Mercy College. The men come up short, losing 5-2 to Mercy. Luis Morales scored his 6th of the season. Alejandro Cameo also scoring for the Spartans. The Spartans soccer squad, men's squad, finishes the season 10-6-1, their highest win total since 2011. In cross country, both the men and women competed in the East Coast Conference Championships at Rochester. In the 8,000 meters, the men's event, the St. Thomas Aquinas men finish in 2nd place overall behind Roberts Wesleyan as a team. The individual top runner for the Spartans, Aiden Russell, he finished 6th overall. His time, 26 minutes, 26.3 seconds. In the women's division, in the 5,000 meters, the women, like the men, finish in 2nd place behind Roberts Wesleyan. The individual top runner for the women was Rebecca McLeod. She finished 10th overall. Her time, 20 minutes, 4.1 seconds. And right behind Rebecca, Ada Torpy finished 11th. Her time, 20 minutes, and 6.2 seconds. Up next for the cross-country team, men's and women's, we have the Division II East Regionals, and that's coming up Saturday, November 17th, 2 weeks, at Bethpage State Park. Again, that's the Division II East Regionals at Bethpage State Park. The women's triathlon season culminated this past week on Sunday way out west in Tempe, Arizona, with the national championship. And congratulations goes out to head coach George Arazo and the women's triathlon squad. Like the sprint football team, this was their inaugural season, and to be able to compete in the national championships is quite an honor, and they represented the school very, very well. Moving on to field hockey, the women's field hockey squad played their last game of the season. They played in a postseason tournament, the East Coast Conference postseason tourney at Mercy College, and the field hockey squad lost to Mercy 2-0 to finish their season at 4-14. Mercy went on to beat Malloy 1-0 in the tournament championship. Ice hockey. On the road last night, the Spartans men's ice hockey team playing at Stevens Institute of Technology. That game was actually at the Prudential Center. It was an away game for the Spartans, and they lose. Tough game, a close game. They lose 2-1. Sean Benson scoring the lone goal for the Spartans. Carl Lorenz, stellar in defeat, 34 saves, but the Spartans come up short. Their record now 3-5. This was the first game of a home-and-home series, so the two teams will face off again this Friday night, and that game will be at the Spartans' home ice at Sportorama in Muncie, and the puck drops at 8:30 this Friday at Sportorama. Esports continuing a good season as the esports squad had a busy weekend this past weekend. They took on Stony Brook, winning 2-0 in Fortnite, then losing to Cornell in Fortnite 2-0. And they also lost the esports squad to Colorado at Colorado Springs 2-0. But then the squad also competed in the Fortnite Championship qualifying tournament, where they defeated the University of Victoria out of Canada and the University of Arizona before falling to Grand Canyon University in the round of 32. Up next for the esports squad, they will take on Florida in League of Legends, and then they will go up against RIT in 2 matches in Fortnite. Coming up this week, the Spartans' winter sports season tips off this weekend with college basketball. That's right, college hoops is back. The women's squad tips off the defending East Coast Conference champion Spartan women. They take on Nyack in their season opener. That's Friday night, tip-off at 9:30 here at St. Thomas. And then Saturday they turn right around and play Saturday afternoon home against St. Michael's. The women's squads with 2 games in basically less than 24 hours. Then the men's squad follows the women's game on Saturday afternoon. The men, the defending East Coast Conference champs, they tip off against Wilmington of Delaware, and that's 5:30 on Saturday. So the winter season is here. I'm your host, Walt Fowler. You've been listening to the weekly recap for the week ending November 4th on the Spartans Sports Network.